Hi, welcome to TJ Talks Random. Day, I actually had to count the day, so it was day 67th. For now, it's actually December 5th, and and uh, I'll be uploading this podcast on December 6th, so that would be a 67th day of the podcast. But actually, I'm recording how the day went for the previous day. Okay. So that being said, actually I took a long, what you say, I wouldn't say it as a break, but I would rather say it to be a long being diverted from what you need to do and not being able to do what should be done. So yeah, and actually I've prepared for what I'll be talking about. Like, there are general things that comes into my mind. Oh, it would be a good thing to say, and that would be a better thing to be, which would have been a better thing to be said in a podcast. And that being said, okay, let's get to the point, that the purpose of this podcast. So if I'm being honest, what I would say is that the thing that, okay, well, what you'll get out of this podcast through YouTube and all other things, when you think about it, you'll be like, oh, we'll get that. And also the point that where you'll start earning and getting followers and all of those things through YouTube, only if you do something that's good. I mean, it needs to be in that way, right? So if I'm putting things in that perspective and moving through that perspective, it's natural that, holy shit, I've not connected the mic, and until now you've been listening to the mic of the mobile itself, and now you'll listen through the mic. Shit, after 2 minutes of enlightenment. Wow, beautiful. So yeah, if I've been pursuing things like that, then it's obvious that I'll have a gap between the days. So that being said, I'll try being. I know it's not about trying. I'll always put up a podcast by as the day ends, no matter what. Keep this in mind. No matter what, but only if I'm at home. Okay, if I'm at a place, if I'm at this place right now, because I have all the setup that is being made for that purpose. So if I go outside or some other places, then I won't be able to upload anything. I've said this point because I'm going to Mumbai on 24th of December till 29th in December. I'm kind of excited about that because it's about traveling, and that too with my cousin. And it's like, cousin, he's there, but he won't restrict, right? That's the main thing. That's the best part of this thing, because he doesn't restrict me. Whereas if I'm going with my parents, it's like I won't be able to do things that I need to be doing. Like, there are some eyes going around you, but here I'm not restricted, so that's fun. And what I'll be speaking in today's podcast, as I have written here, is that liberty of age. So I was thinking about, it's a whole topic that I was thinking about and observing that. And I'll be talking only general things about here, and I don't observe anything other than general, because the outcome of what I do think is, like, the thinking process that I do, the outcome is that it remains simple and basic and general. So yeah, liberty of age. So basically it came into my mind when I thought that, as I was a kid, I knew a lot of things, in the sense, the things that you're not supposed to say or you're not supposed to do. I knew that. So I was not able to speak about it, even though I had knowledge about it. It's just that, and even my classmates, I think they didn't knew about some new friends who didn't knew about it, and during that time, you're not supposed to talk about certain things around you. It's like a age, if you're at 6th or 7th, you're not supposed to talk about things like sex, or you're not allowed to talk about things like, you're not supposed to talk about bad words, but you know it, right? I'm like, I'm not supporting these things like, if not, you should be talking about bad words and all the other things, but I'm saying is that when you reach a certain age, you have the liberty to talk. You have the liberty to use certain words and also put your point of view forward before anyone else does. It's like, for example, in a house, when an old person speaks, he can speak anything. He can put forward any viewpoint, okay, in front of everyone. So as for me, as if I was a 15-year-old kid, then I should be thinking before I say a word, because people don't accept the fact that you know so much at that age, and they'll start contradicting you a lot. Whereas as you get aged, your words make more sense and worth than you do when you speak about it in a lower age. And it's also important that when you're speaking about something at that age, it's very important that you say it to someone you feel that will feel the worth of what you're saying and also recognize you for that. It's very important because it's, even though you do every great things, even though you do a lot of great things, it's very important that there is that one person standing there who recognizes that and spreads those words to the world. Because if he didn't see that great thing in you, then you would have been stuck in the same place where you were at. So that's the great thing about recognize that it can take you to the great places. And I was like, I'm checking out what I've written is at a young age. You realize that it's not supposed to talk about it. And I was, as I was writing about how I was thinking about my character, like as a person, how my mental thing works, right? It's like it's a graph that it's a sinusoidal wave graph. It's a sinusoidal wave graph. You can imagine it that way. It's like, okay, I've paused the podcast, and there are two audios right here. So yeah, as if I was thinking about how I been doing things that I can represent it to be as a sinusoidal wave graph, where the graph goes to the peak and reaches to the lowest part of the graph, and again as it's like I get saturated when I get at the peak of my point, and then I need to take rest, and it's like it automatically gets to the lowest of the wave, and then again as I get to the lowest point, then again I get to the peak point. So now that I've been saturated by being at the lowest point, now I'm slowly getting up and catching those tracing. No, you're chasing those peak point once again. So that's the craziest. That shit's crazy. It's like it affects me a lot when I have to be consistent on some things. So there are a lot of drawbacks to it. It can be helped. It will change, but over time. And also found out that I was running out of my responsibilities, and I've been acting or being an idiot or stupid all the time. It's let's say it's a personal thing. I'll change. I'll try being the best, because I have the potential. I have fucking potential. It's like I can be the greatest person, but but there are so much of there's so much of chains that's been locked to me that it's not allowing me to release the whole potential that I have. So yeah, I need to work on myself and bring out that potential that I have. It's like unlimited. I can just make the world move with the force of potential that I have. I need to turn this potential energy into the kinetic energy. It needs to happen. It's like the craziest thing. So then also there's this babe who keeps calling me all the time. I'm like, babe, I mean, when I say babe, it's mobile phone. I'm talking about mobile phone. It's like she keeps on calling me all the time, and I'll be like, oh yeah, she's calling, you need to pick up the call. It's like, no, I mean, not the call in the sense mobile phone. I'm like, I kind of get addicted to it. But yeah, it's not that enough, I think. I'm trying to rehabilitate with everything, so it's like slow process. Let me hope it works out for me in a long run. So yeah, we are trying to have a long distance relationship for a few days, for some days. And also I've written down, as I was writing about what should be said in a podcast for today, I felt that my mom is a fantastic woman, and there's this determination in her which I admire. For example, why I got this point is that she does tailoring, and she makes it a priority that she finishes things within time, and no matter what time it is, she sometimes sits and does the work till 1 o'clock or 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. It's like sick. She sometimes wakes up early in the morning at 5 and does the work, and it really blows my mind. I'm not like that, but I need that quality of her, and I need to develop that thing in me because it's very fantastic. It's like I have that quality because I've experienced it, and I really have experienced it, and I can bring it out. If I bring that thing out, it's like I'm a psycho. I've seen it, and that thing is just toxic. It's, for example, if I have to give something, it's like during the corona vacation of the first corona vacation, I started watching Naruto. I've started watching Naruto, and I was crazy. If I got so addicted to it that I would start at morning 8 o'clock and would let go of mobile only after around 11 or 10, or if my mobile data gets over. That was the crazy thing, and I was like so much pulled by it that I couldn't stop myself. Even while I draw something, sometimes I just keep doing it, and it's crazy how I do it. And if I do it with a lot of concentration, then that thing just keeps appearing in front of me. Even if I lie down, it's like, even if I sleep, that thing just keeps flashing, and that feeling is so sick. So yeah, I have to keep in my mind that there is importance of doing all these things and writing down the things, and it's very important to write down things for me especially. And Jordan Peterson says that thinking and writing is same, and growth is a way of life. Learn, get excited, observe, live, and love what you see. With that being said, I, Prakyat DJ, will be signing off. But before that, please do subscribe, like, and share. At least that I have renewed or born. Thank you.